Welcome to our 938 podcast. This is our opportunity to share with you all things missions. Sometimes we have missionaries that we interview, other times it's pastors and how they're promoting missions in their churches. But also this is a time that we can share with you missions in the mission office and what we do to help promote missions in your churches through the mission office and things that we provide. One of the things that we provide is our kids' curriculum. And this is a curriculum designed and put together to help promote missions to the children of your churches. And today I have special guests with me. First of all, I have my wife, Pam Konnerup, and then also Jill Wolf. And both of them have been very involved in putting this together. And so let's just start out by talking, first of all, Pam, why did you feel this was something that would be necessary?
Well, we wanted to expose and educate and inspire kids for missions, and not just any missionary stories, but BBFI missionaries. And so my background is in elementary education, as well as I've worked in children's ministries since I was a teenager, and I've always enjoyed, teaching missionary stories to kids. And so after we came back from Kenya as missionaries, I always thought, it'd be neat to be able to have something, more of a curriculum to be able to share missions with kids and highlighting our BBFI missionary families.
Good. So you've had a major part in writing a lot of the information that's in the leaders' guides and everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We've been able to contact various missionaries that are included in our curriculum. And, through their emails and answering of questions and sending us pictures, their involvement is key. We couldn't do it without them.
And so we want to encourage our churches to promote missions to the children, because a lot of times in mission conferences that you and I have been in, it's geared toward the adults, but sometimes not very much for the children.
Right.
This helps with that.
Mm-hmm. It gives churches something very specific that they can use, that they can maybe even start before the conference and get the kids ready and excited.
Yeah, good. Jill, thank you for coming on here today. Jill works as our project manager of many events that we do in the mission office and different projects, but also especially putting all this together as we've designed it and come together. You've had a major part in putting it all together, making it work and making it happen. Tell us a little bit of what this curriculum consists of.
Well, we were really concerned about the need that churches have to be able to provide something on a child's level to understand more about missions. And so we have two packages that we've come up with, both of which are available in the print and the digital format. First of all is the basic package, which a church would receive a full teacher's guide with 10 lessons, 1 hour in length approximately. Those are broken into segments, which allow them to easily adjust according to their time frame that they need to work with. And then we also have 60 color images that are included that help illustrate the lessons. There are also 10 fun fact missionary kid videos, which the children love as they hear from the missionary kids themselves tell about life on the mission field.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Then there are 25 color student workbooks, which are filled with fun activities to reinforce the lessons that are taught that week. They can enjoy working on those with other children in the class. Even the younger children can help the older can help the younger as they work through and the different aspects of the lesson. Mm-hmm. If a church needs more workbooks, then they can order those in addition to accommodate the number of children that they're expecting. Okay. So if a church needs more than that, we have the premium package, which allows them to receive missionary intro videos, which is a chance for missionaries to introduce themselves to the children and a little bit about their country. Then there's also 5 videos from an MK who helps teach the Bible memory verses. Okay. So that's a really a missionary kid can help the children to learn those verses. Right. We have a promotional video, teaching slides. We even have a leader's T-shirt, which we provide. They can help go along with a theme. Through our online store, a church can order additional adult T-shirts or even child-size T-shirts to help throughout the extent of their series. Then we have MK collector cards, which we have been able to provide along with prayer reminder bands, which help the children to understand how they can pray for that missionary kid and even communicate with them if they should so choose.
Well, that's neat. And of course, the parents have given us permission to use their kids on those cards. Well, good. Now, we may be talking about this later, I don't know, but how many, there's different locations that we have these. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we have 3 in the series. First of all was Africa.
Of course.
Of course. Secondly was Latin America. And then our 2021 edition will be Europe. Destination Europe will take us to visit missionaries throughout various countries in Europe, and then which will be ready in time for the fall programs.
Yeah. Well, good. Pam, we have a lot of people that are involved in it, not just 1 or 2. There's quite a few involved. Tell us a little bit about that, the team of people that are helping put these together.
Okay, well, besides myself and Jill, we also have Rob Walker, who has done all the graphic design. A lot of his work you will see in the workbook. And so that's been encouraging to have him involved. Also, Mike Escabel has worked with the videos. And his team, he has a team that works with him also, Justin and Caleb. And then Kenna with our website and IT support. And then Carol Miller has done a lot of the proofreading for us. And really various ones in the office at different times have come together and helped to, compile things whenever we've needed help doing that. So it really has been a team effort from the mission office.
And when you put one of these together, we've done one a year for the last 3 years, but it doesn't just take a month. It takes quite a while to write it, communicate with the missionaries, get everyone involved in doing their part.
Yes.
And I know that people like the videos, the video aspect of it, and each one I think has gotten better with more videos. And so Mike and his team do good in putting those together, but missionaries will send those to us and we put them together. Mm-hmm. And what about the MKs involved? I mean, we've had a few MKs helping too.
We have. We've had them involved as far as helping us with videos for the Bible memory verses that we have. So have we had 2 or 3 of the missionary kids that have done that? So So that's been kind of a nice, feature to be able to have them involved in, since it is missions. We're just keeping that theme going.
Yeah, good.
And we've even had some missionary kids from BBC that have come over and help us put, the packets together when we've been collating everything. So.
Yes, great. And the workbooks, Rob Walker works quite a bit on those. Takes a lot of time, but he's very creative.
Yes.
Putting the games and the ideas and the crossword puzzles and things like that together. Mm-hmm. And I think we've gotten some good response from people who are amazed, really, to see how good it is. Yep.
Yeah, it was neat to be able to have him involved because he is a person who has been involved in teaching missions to kids in his church, and he is also a parent of young kids, so he was kind of test driving some of the material on them, some of the different activities to see if it was, age appropriate or how they would do with it. And so that was a blessing to have him as part of our graphic design team for sure.
Good. Talking about age appropriate, who would this curriculum be targeted more toward?
We are thinking more of elementary age kids with this curriculum, although I have heard of some churches that have used it with, some a little bit younger and maybe some a little bit older. But really for the elementary age kids, you want them to be able to read so that they can, be involved in enjoying the workbook as far as the activities that are in that. So
good. Jill, you had mentioned 10 lessons and they're about an hour or so. That gives them, it's still flexible though, isn't it, where they can make it less or more or add things if they want to?
Absolutely. Each week there are 1, sometimes 2 missionaries featured. So the church, if they only have 30 minutes, then they could feature one of those missionaries and perhaps even stretch the lessons out over 20 weeks. So it has that flexibility to it.
Okay, good. And talking about different options, I mean, it can be on a Wednesday night, it can be during a conference. What are some of your thoughts on that, Pam?
Yeah, we had thought, initially that something like this would be good to do on Wednesday nights in the summer, when a lot of churches have a break from their Awana programs. But also you could use it in junior church, just week by week on Sundays, or as leading up to a mission conference, and then maybe do 3 or 4 sessions, during the conference nights, or however, your schedule goes. So just really whenever you have, opening in your schedule, and some churches have even used it for VBS, and you could do 2 lessons a day over 5 days, and that would make a really great VBS program.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the Leader's Guide. What all's included in the Leader's Guide? We know there's some pictures, and by the way, the pictures can be printed or digitally. There can be on an iPad to show.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
But tell me a little bit about the Leader's Guide. What's all involved in that and to help them?
Well, basically it's a lesson plan, and it gives you, information on what you're going to need to carry out that lesson. And then it's got the Bible verse in there. It tells you when to play the videos. It's got, all the information for the story from the missionaries. And then it also gives you ideas of how to practically apply some of the things you've learned, how to get your kids involved in missions. And then we also have recipes from our countries that missionaries have given us of things that maybe could be made ahead and brought, or you could have like an international dinner, things like that as part of the resources for teachers to use if they have more time.
Right.
And also
Kids always like to taste things and maybe some unique things.
Yeah, and they're unique, but it's nothing too weird,
Right.
A lot of sweets and cakes or savory things, or even snacks that we don't necessarily eat a lot here, but that you could buy at the store here that are eaten, in other countries that kids enjoy, snacks that kids enjoy. Yeah. So that's kind of a fun feature, if you're wanting to have, a snack time during your lesson, then you could look and see what some of the ideas are. And we also have song ideas. And we also give some ideas of other, like missionaries throughout history that maybe were from, that were missionaries to Africa or to Latin America or to Europe, that if you have older kids that want to read more about missions in that part of the world,
good,
that they could find that information in the teacher's guide.
Okay, good. And the videos a little bit, Jill, when the missionaries send their videos, they're talking, do they give an idea of different words to say? And I know maybe Europe maybe a little different, but tell me a little bit about those videos.
Yes, the videos will just give some more details and kind of a flavor. Many, as they film them, from their country and get a chance to see what it's like there. But they do introduce various words that are used, some common words like hello and goodbye, or different colors and how they're pronounced. So the kids really enjoy, as they learn about that particular country, those new words, and they go and share them, with their friends or their family, and so they enjoy that.
That's neat. You and I have talked about, you're the one who churches contact to get the curriculum. We've talked about different testimonials from different places, and I know one pastor, Greg Burdine, he talked to me, and he said that what he's done is he's had his missions committee teach these lessons to his children in his church. And he said, they almost got more out of it than the kids did. And I thought that was a really neat idea, have your leadership in teaching this to the kids. That way everyone's involved. What are some other testimonies that you've heard of, or ways that churches are using it?
Mm-hmm. Well, pastor's wife, Dana Beck, shared with us how she really enjoys how the classroom organization is laid out. It's very clear and easy to follow. She really likes the missionary bios, so that personal touch and those stories from the field, the children in the ministry, that kids can relate to. So she also likes the pray, give, and go section, which is very clear, where children can understand more how to specifically pray for a missionary. As well as, if a missionary can tell someone about Jesus, then so can they. We had another teacher who completed the curriculum that was really excited to see how the excitement built, towards their own week of missions in the church. They were at one point had a child that said, "Well, I could be a missionary." They came to that realization, and the teacher quickly said, "You absolutely could be a missionary." But then there was another child who wrote one of the missionaries who were featured in one of the curriculums, and she said, "I want to be a missionary. And after hearing your stories and more about you, I want to be one all that much more." So she was really excited about it. In another church, we've had children and adults, like you mentioned, really get excited about each week learning a new country, the culture, and then the BBFI missionaries that work there. That excitement just grew and grew each week, and that concern for others in their local town and around the world, until one young lady in their church led her friend to Christ during the series. So this church has really caught the vision on that burden for the children in their church to one day surrender to the mission field.
That's good. That's really good. You know, and another thing I like about it is our stories are of our missionaries, BBF missionaries, and there's a lot of good stories that God's using our missionaries in so many good ways. And then also when they come to a church, one of the kids might say, "Hey, they're the ones that we studied about last summer or previously," and so that makes that connection even better. And so really, really good. I think this is just a great thing for our churches. We've had quite a few get involved, but there's so many more that really don't even know about it yet that we need to get the word out. And so how can one obtain this curriculum?
Well, the best way is to go to the website at kids.bbfimissions.com. Once they're there, they can look at the top bar and they can choose their destination that they are most interested in. So Africa, Latin America, and like I mentioned earlier, Destination Europe. It becomes available this year. We are planning to have 6 editions in the series as we feature each continent around the world and the BBFI missionaries and their ministries there, as well as some of the countries where we don't have a BBFI presence. So we want to bring that to their attention as well so they can be praying for a missionary in that country.
And, we are trying to get the word out to our churches, and sometimes we communicate with the pastors, but they may not filter it down to the children's ministry leaders. And so one of the things we're doing with our missionaries is having them take these little cards and giving it to the children's minister that they meet. And if the children's minister will sign up and send the card in, then we have some incentive that we give to the missionaries. Is that right?
That's right. We've had some missionaries that have received some gifts from us, and so that works out really well.
Yeah, good. So we want to encourage our missionaries to be doing that even more to help us get the word out. And so you've seen just a little bit today of the Kidz4Missionz curriculum that our ladies and others have put together. It's really, really good. The leader's guide is very clear, gives exactly a good guideline to follow, but also the workbook is really exciting. Kids love it. We have other things that go along with it, T-shirts, things like that. So please check it out on the website that was given to you, and there's a lot more that you can find out on that website. You can see the pictures of things and
see samples of the teacher's guide. And
you can see the samples of the guide and pictures, videos, all those kinds of things on that website. So we want to thank you for joining us here today. And also please subscribe to our 938 podcast, because then you will get notifications of future podcasts that are coming out every Tuesday morning. These are live, and so we want you to watch on Tuesday mornings at 10 o'clock Central Time, or go to our YouTube channel and watch previous ones as well. So thanks once again for joining us. This is Missions. All things that you can consider in missions is shown on our podcast, and so we hope you'll come and watch every single week. God bless you.